Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I had some pretty cool dreams last night. A lot of the dream is very personal, so I'm just gonna leave that to the side. But there was a specific scene in my dream where I seen someone doing something that I do, and they don't partake in this. They don't do this at all. And it's almost as if it sparked this understanding between the universe and I that there are so many opportunities that you have to prepare yourself to be able to take. My crystal guard fell off, and I'm really sad about it. And yeah, I just had to say that because I was looking at it and I'm like, my crystal is definitely not on there. I forgot that it fell off. I had quartz crystal on it, like or not quartz, but rose quartz. Every time I wear rose quartz, it falls off me, and I'm like, does that mean I have too much love, or does that mean I need to give out my love, or like, what's the message behind it? Because I'm literally tired of losing it. But anyways, so a number of things that you have to prepare yourself for, and I feel like maybe that is the example that's being set to you by other people when you think about looking at social media and seeing people like, oh wow, like I want to do that too, or I want to partake in that idea of wanting the same experience, or maybe a similar experience, that makes you turn and really focus on what it is that you could be doing to make these opportunities come about for yourself. Um, and that if you are in the midst of doing that, I feel like now's the time to do it even harder. Like I struggle with I struggle with task. Um, when it comes to the internet specifically, like I really got comfortable and used to the simple, Instagram, posting on Instagram, and you know, post on Facebook. Like it's very easy, very simple. Now it's the same thing with YouTube and stuff, but I think the anxiety behind like wanting your YouTube channel to do good and wanting to get views and wanting to grow your community and wanting all these things, like you put pressure on it, and that's what really stifles the growth. Like everything happens how it's supposed to in divine timing, but when we think about how easy it is for something to blow up on Instagram as opposed to on YouTube, it kind of like makes you want to go to the easier option, but it doesn't do you any credit because Instagram is not your platform. Where it's like YouTube is the platform, but it's like you're an independent contractor that works for YouTube. So it's just a different energy behind it, and like understanding what you have to commit yourself to in order to get to where it is that you want to get to. Um, and I feel like the collective is really zooming in and focusing in on that, and probably in a way that you've never done it before. Like I feel like this collective is used to the whole mundane routine of having a job. You get up, you go to work, you get your paycheck, and so on and so forth. To where you've made a great transition out of that area in a sense of you no longer are working a regular 9 to 5, and if you are working a regular 9 to 5, like you're really thinking about leaving it because you're hearing the call from God to commit to what it is that you truly want to do, because you know that you're gonna have that support, and like it may be nerve-wracking and it may make you nervous and like all these things, but you are being called to do it. And this transitions you out of, you know, having to show up on time for somebody else's endeavor and you to show up on time for your own endeavor. And when you spend so much time with yourself, sometimes it can be hard to decipher, like, when do I work, when do I play, when do I do this, when do I do that. And I feel like if you are an intuitive person, which I feel like if you're here you definitely are, then you feel the calls every day. And it's a matter of like turning the ego off to listen to God. I feel like when you listen to God, you can't really involve your ego because God is the one that's in control. God's the one that's leading you and telling you where to go and, you know, what options. And when you really believe that you have a say, which you do have a say, because like free will is definitely a thing, but when you walk a specific journey where God is pretty much your mentor and like you have to listen to your mentor in order to learn all that it is that you need to learn, like, you know, you listen. Very simple. And like, of course you still use your ego regardless, because you're gonna have to operate in the environments to do what it is that God is telling you to do. You just have to know when to use it and when you need to listen. So I got all that from my dream. But parts that I've showed you, parts that I've told you, and then there's also this conversation around like love and shit, because I'm a Venus Libra and I'm a Libra rising and I'm also a Virgo. So with that energy, I feel like I am very closely connected to my feminine nature, and the evolution of that energy has really showed me that as a intuitive person and a person who is walking the path of being an entrepreneur, in certain environments it requires you to conduct yourself a certain way. And when you're constantly, you know, focused on your goal and your business and blah blah blah, like, yeah, thirst trap is a thing, right? Because women are usually fucking beautiful all the time, so it instantly makes it a fucking thirst trap. I don't even give a fuck what people say. Like, I really feel like it's just whatever. There are differences and I understand, but people label things that aren't the label, and it's really because they don't have the terminology to describe it, so they use what they have best accessible to them. Anyways, like, women need spaces and environments where they can actually be their authentic feminine self. And I feel like the woman collective feels more comfortable with existing in that energy with their spouse, their counterpart. And that's why the want to have that is very strong, but it's not strong to the point to where it's taking you off your course. Like, you're not looking for it, you're attracting it, but you don't realize how strongly the attraction is. And you have these moments where you think like, damn, like, I hope I'm not closing myself off to, I hope I'm not this, I hope I'm not that. And like, you're not. You're actually attracting the thing that's for you, that's meant for you. So it looks a lot different from how things may have looked in the past. But like, don't have, well, you can have and feel whatever way you want to feel, but like, there's no need to worry about the love part, because I am sensing love just coming in for the collective at a time where it's like, I said I wasn't gonna be in love right now, like the fuck. Yeah, that's what it's giving. Also, I really love this thing, but I think I need to stop smoking it. Or just not as much as I have been. I've been smacking the fuck out of that thing. Because I haven't been smoking flower But I really like to hit the pen when I do messages because it really loosens me up. Really loosens me up to hear this stuff. So there's probably a lot that's happening in your life right now. A lot going on. You're learning how to... I don't really like using the word compartmentalize because I love the idea of structure and I love the idea of creating balance. But when I think about compartmentalizing things, it reminds me, and this is so extreme, it reminds me of segregation, right? And hear me out, because it's just like, if everything could just learn how to coexist, we wouldn't need to put it, oh, maybe that is the idea of it. I guess I just don't like how it sounds, or the emphasis on needing to compartmentalize certain aspects, because with the idea of when you create your own reality, for me as a person who doesn't want to have to compartmentalize, like I would just want to be able to be myself all the time, it's like if all of these things could just be here and work together, that would be really good and easy. And sometimes this can go over here, and sometimes this can go like existing in the understanding that the compartments are going to change and you're going to have to move around. Everybody's going to have to operate out of different energies. Some days it's not going to operate the same because people are in different parts of their personalities, and that's okay. But because we know how to coexist, there's really no need to, like, the chaos is the structure. Like, it looks chaotic, but there's actually structure. Like when you think of dams and stuff that are built like that, all that twine and stuff looks so complicated and it looks so like there's just so much and it's tangled. But for the people who are living, or for the animals that are living in the dams, it's the best structure for them. Like, it works. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, journey, relationship, root. So you could be in the right, like digging your roots into your relationships, starting the new journey, understanding that things progress and things take time, and understanding the root of something can really add to the journey. It prolongs the journey. The sense of understanding expands it to last longer. And with inner understanding and inner development, it makes it easier to go through the motions with these relationships on these journeys and actually reach a point of fulfillment and like arrival. You're arriving at the truest form and truest nature of something. And this is yourself. It's crazy how everything kind of happens at one time. Like, you getting yourself together just brings in so much for you at one time. And like, before it could have felt like, oh, that's the idea. Like, you had compartments of yourself together. I see a white butterfly. But you had compartments of yourself together. So there would be sometimes you'd be together, sometimes, but you weren't really coexisting with all of yourself because you weren't in environments that allowed you to just fully be all of who you were. Like, I want things in abundance. I don't want things in increments. Like, that's just me, though. Everybody's different. I feel like I always pull the same cards when I usually pull cards. Like, I feel like there's so many cards in this deck that I haven't pulled. And maybe that's just because, like, it's the time, like the energy around the time is changing. the bigger the spread, the more comes out. Communication, clear communication, direct communication. And it really becomes this way because it becomes, once you know yourself, you can never talk out of a place of not knowing. And like knowing yourself really is the mirror effect of knowing and understanding the world. There's a foundational idea of how to build understanding amongst people. Collaborate, exploration, sustainability. So there's a lot of collaboration. Sorry, I got excited. There's a lot of collaboration that's coming in here. You're about to go on a journey, and on this journey, you're going to meet a bunch of people that you can actually work with. You're attracting your tribe. And really, what it was is that you had to follow your dreams. You had to go on the outskirts of town to find your tribe. Sustainability. This is the idea of, I just did a reading yesterday about like the kingdom, the idea of the kingdom, and how in the kingdom it does look chaotic. There's so many people working at what it is that they need to be doing, but everything is running and it's functioning. Wow, that's really beautiful. I see like this whole thing in my head. That's crazy. Yeah, radiation from phones is real and it's gonna affect you. I feel like this is a download for me, but it's probably for somebody else too. If you're used to filming like off of your phone and using your phone to like hold it to like create, I feel like you should switch methods, like a camera recorder or a tripod with the camera, and then insert it into your laptop and uploading it from there, just to give your hands, train your hands in a new way. Yeah. Anyways, there is ample opportunity that's coming about. And it's really gonna feel like it's out of nowhere. But it really feels like it's out of nowhere because like you are now stable and used to operating in your north node energy. So the only thing that comes from after doing the work comes as success, and you're finally in the area of reaping the benefits of what you've invested into. And you didn't allow anything to steer you off this path, and you really committed yourself to it, and you really dedicated yourself to it. Even when it comes to loving, even when things are hard to be loved, understanding what unconditional love is, not having conditions. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Can I just see one card at the top, Spirit? Thank you. Or two, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. This energy, Four of Swords, Seven of Cups. Wow. Ace of Pentacles, the Magician, the Wheel of Fortune. So in your time of grieving, reflecting, recentering yourself, you had options and choices of things that you could choose from. With the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like you chose the divine, and by choosing the divine, you chose your career, because the biggest part of your path is your career. It's only the biggest part of your path because of the way that the world is. The powers are switching, and there needs to be the next generation of people that are up to run these areas, and also reform them, reshape them, remold them into having a sense of connection with the divine. Because people say it's not all about career, but the truth of the matter is that as an intuitive person, you are working even when you're not working. You're working every time you have a conversation with somebody, because 9 times out of 10, you're being channeled to communicate these things with people. You're probably actually an introvert, and you probably are like, you're okay with just existing and like being in and enjoying life and like doing things. Like, you're okay with not adding your input, but you're being called to add your input. So during this time, you just kind of realize the spiritual underlining belly of what it is that you're doing, because you cannot be an intuitive. You could be a musician, and you could realize that you acquired so much skill, and that the way that you want to give back to the community is giving them knowledge on how they can acquire a sustainable career for themselves in doing what it is that they love. So then you got the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune, and like, you fucking manifested this. You manifested this at the time where the wheel was already turning in your favor, and by you operating in your North Node energy, in your higher self, you help turn the wheel. Because the wheel was turning, but the wheel wasn't turning as fast as it is now, with you being on it. Burdens. There is no more burdens. The burdens are gone because you've done the hard work. You've done the hard work. The work within yourself, the work on yourself, the foundational building of this career, this business, your foundation of having a connection with Source and being able to listen to your intuition. And I really truly feel like the intuition is just Source talking to you. It's the voice of God to me, which allowed you to release these burdens. It allowed you to finish out a cycle. Like, you don't have to carry so many things yourself. Queen of Swords, Four of Wands, Ten of Cups. The Queen of Swords came out in reverse, but I feel called to read it both ways. So you could have lacked the ability to communicate your truth in a way that was less of aggravation. You probably were combative and hard to communicate with, because there was a sense of tension or a sense of animosity. The Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands, now with the Queen of Swords in the upright. You learned how to communicate. You learned what you were communicating on. You learned what it is that you wanted. Wish fulfillment. Ten of Cups, the emotional fulfillment from your endeavors, from your relationships. This specifically speaks to relationships and like family dynamics. I'm seeing partnerships and you not being afraid of still wanting what it is that you want, regardless of what you were experiencing in the past. I feel very like euphoric right now. I feel very euphoric, and there's hella shit coming out. So passing relationship that I'm not gonna get into. So the truth, the truth. Nine of Cups. You learned how to communicate your truth. people learned how to ask the question of your truth to begin with. I feel like people didn't understand or couldn't formulate the question of, who are you and what is it that you actually stand for, because people got used to having to rely on their survival tactics, which was analyzing a person to the point of understanding them, because you're not in an environment comfortable enough to ask a person about themselves, because you learned before that you could ask people about yourselves and they could communicate something that's completely different to you. Yeah, to understanding your internal truth of being this independent, um, able to take care of self type of energy. So there's an ending to this group of people who were constantly betraying and backstabbing you. Take nothing personal. These souls are damaged and they do not know themselves. And this was necessary for you to go through to teach you about yourself. You had to be mirrored parts of your shadow to understand why you were attracting certain types of people. Now, you could have, like, let me make an example. You could be a person who was attached to materialism and the idea of how something looks, and not understanding that underneath the surface it was more than just the looks. It was also about the person and the person's spirit and soul, but you didn't have the terminology to communicate that because you didn't even know that this existed in yourself. So the work that you did in finding yourself helped you understand and come to this truth. So the energy is really just coming into yourself, coming into your blessings, coming into what it is that the divine has for you, submitting yourself to a higher power. This Ace of Pentacles being given to you because you actually will know what to do with it this time. And you'll actually have a sustainable foundation to do what it is that you need to do with this. So yeah, I feel like it's really beautiful. It's cute. There's a lot of growth here. There's a lot of positivity. The world is changing, and it's actually changing in a very positive manner. So don't be discouraged by, the bad things that you hear, because it's a lot of people creating and wreaking havoc in this world, and you just really truly don't have anything to do with it, because that's not the side of the wheel that you're on. You're not on that side of the wheel of fortune, so you don't have anything to worry about. Make sure you stay peaced up, stay blessed, continue praying, meditating, whatever these things look like for you, continue to do them. Understand that this was a general reading, and this content is made for entertainment purposes and learning purposes only. So do what you will with this information. I am not responsible for what you choose to do with this information. I hope that you receive something that actually spoke to you. Definitely use your discernment when you listen to anything at all in the world, not just readings, but everything. You should be using your discernment when you listen to it. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, like it, because it helps me out a lot. I want to get monetized. Share, definitely leave your comments in the comment section below, because guys, we have to acquaint ourselves with one another. The part that's the biggest part of this platform is the sense of community and building it. So let's build that community, guys. Yeah, until next time, see you later. Have fun. Bye.